Hi, welcome back to Mermaid Reviews. I am Cheyenne, or Shy as many of you will start to know me as. If this is your first time seeing my video, then I will re-explain. This channel is mainly going to be about me choosing books that I've read before, writing my own reviews on it, and how I rate them from 1 to 5, and how I feel about them, and give you a little bit of background on what the book is mainly about and what I wish I would change, what I wish I wouldn't change, and so on and so forth. To recap for what I did last week I did a book review on a book called Evermore by Nials and I gave my opinion on how to 1 to 5 clams. I gave it a 4 because I felt like the series was starting to lose its touch and felt that the series should have ended a little bit sooner than it did. It's like I googled it and it's like a 5 to 6 part book, and I feel like she could have ended it on book 3. It didn't need all the extra books. I'm going to speak about today is this one. It's called Endgame, The Calling by James Frey and by Nials Johnson-Shelton. This book was amazing. So I bought it at Barnes & Noble's, and actually a friend of mine bought it for me as a Christmas present. And I saw this book and I was like, oh my God, I need to see it, because the book itself captured my attention. The cover is beautiful. I like the gold, like a shimmery. I love the symbol. It was the symbol mainly, and also because it's a signed copy. And I can actually show you this. So James Frey actually signed this book. It's probably not even his signature. I hope so. This is the main part reason I bought the book. I am a huge James Frey fan. I think his books are amazing. I think it's beautiful. And so to have one of his books like these was a big, huge thing, especially since it's a collaboration book, which is oftentimes collaboration books can be a good thing or could be a bad thing, but most of the time collaboration books are never a good thing. But this was an amazing collaboration. I think they did a beautiful job. I love this book. It's a sci-fi themed book. It has some scientific words that I had to kind of Google because I wasn't sure, but it has scientific words. It has a lot of real facts that aren't made up. Like, these are actual real things, but it's also a fantasy at the same time. So what it's about is that it's called Endgame, and what it is aliens have come back to Earth, and they were in Earth a long, long time ago, to the point where humans don't even remember it anymore. And so they came back, and there's only 12 tribes around the whole entire world who know about the aliens and who know about endgames. And the endgames are like centuries and centuries and centuries apart. And what it is that the aliens will come back to Earth when they feel like humans need a restart, that they don't like the direction the humans were going, so they will give them a restart, which is endgames. And it's crazy because they completely annihilate every single human but one specific tribe. So there's 12 tribes all around the world. There's in America, South America, Canada, Japan, Australia. It's all over. And they're the only ones who know about it. And they will select certain children and basically train them in combat, in skills, in math, science, reading, and all of these things in different languages. They're training them since birth for this end game because they don't know when the end game is going to happen. They just know that all hell's going to break loose on Earth, and that's when they're going to know the end game starts. So in this book, you will literally have each chapter is a little bit different because this book is not like other books where it's one character and you just see it in a perspective of one character. You're actually seeing it in this perspective of a lot of characters. So all 12 kids, because the kids are from, if I remember correctly, it's like 12 or 13 to like 22 that, they're in that age gap. And so in every single chapter, it'll oftentimes be in different perspectives of different people. So it will be from one person, from one girl to another girl to a guy, and you just see how the end games are reacting to them, how they're reacting to it. It also shows on how everything is going to happen. I love it. It's really brutal. It's a really brutal book because these kids are going through this thing called Endgame, and they're going through these trials, and they're killing each other basically, because the whole point is that it's only one tribe can survive. So out of all 12 kids, it's only could be one winner, and whoever wins, their people get saved. Mind you, while they're doing this Endgame, like the whole world is going through havoc. Like, people are dying. There's meteors coming down from the earth. There's earthquakes. There's hurricanes. There's mountains are just, well, not mountains. Volcanoes are erupting. And everything is just going in all hell. And these kids are just being thrown all over the world. And what it is that it's in the game, there's certain things that they have to do. So they have to collect certain keys. And those keys will lead them to something else, and something else will lead them to something else. And it's just a huge puzzle that they have to solve. And whoever solves it first are the ones who win the end game. And so you see in different perspective, you see how people choose alliances, and how, you see how sometimes they want to make an alliance, but then you're just like, I don't want to make an alliance with you. I don't want to get really comfortable with you, because once I get comfortable with you, then I'm going to have to kill you, because it's only one of us can survive this whole entire thing. It's a beautiful book. I love this book. I was in love with it. I couldn't put it down for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I feel like this book is extremely beautiful. I feel like it just captures you, because there's so many different people and so many different personalities, and people all just coming at you, and you start feeling for these people, even when they die, or just, you feel for it, because it just shows you how brutal humans can be, and how it will also show you what a human would do in drastic times, and how would they react to certain things. And it's like, when you think about yourself and you think about, well, if I was in this position, I would do this, I would do that, I would save people. And it's just like, in actuality, you wouldn't. If you were put in this position where you could only save your family, you would do whatever you can to save your family, even if it means killing somebody else. And you just see how people's minds are just insane. I know there's a character in here, I won't say who if you're going to read the book, but there's a character in here who gets tortured, and she gets tortured really, really bad. And she's getting tortured by these 14, 15-year-olds who are just completely demolishing her. And it just crazy to see how, even at 14, you have this mentality of just like savagery, and the whole entire time it's just pure savage, and how humans can go into this really savage, animalistic mode for no reason, just because, the world is ending. So it's just like, I'm just gonna go crazy. And it's just like, instead of you going crazy, just do something, try to protect yourself, try to protect others. And it doesn't really work out that way. And it's just beautiful, because it's like every single chapter will have the name of so on the top, it will have the name of the character that chapter is going to be. It'll have their name. It'll have where they're at, like at that moment, what tribe they were. And it's beautiful because you get to know little bits and pieces about each country, and they give you little pieces of like what this country is, and at what point they were in China, and then it describes China, where they're at, and how historical it was, and how beautiful the country is. And it's just sad that these children are being sent all around the world, and they're not even able to experience or see the country that they're in, because they're so focused on just winning these end games and just getting out. And, obviously trying to stay alive, not dying, because, they have to kill each other, because eventually it's only one tribe that can win it. Like I did with the last book, I'm going to show you how it looks when you first open the book and try to give you some insight. So this is the cover. And then it's just, the blurb is right here which mainly happened when it had books with sleeves. It wouldn't really be on the back because the back will mainly just have, sometimes it'll have like reviews from other book authors that they've done, or newspaper articles, or so on and so forth. And so for this one, it's kind of like a semi blurb. Doesn't really tell you much. It gives you kind of like an overall general idea, but it doesn't really get into depth like most blurbs would. I really don't like it when books don't have blurbs, because it's just like, I need to know what this book about before I read it. And when you don't have a blurb and it's just like all the reviews that people give you, which is most of the time people are only going to put the good ones, it concerns me, because it's just like, I don't know what this book about, and I don't care what they review. Well, I care, but I would like to know what the blurb is so I can understand why they reviewed it the way they did. So most books wouldn't do that, and I hate it so much. So you have a small little blurb just to give you a general idea of what the book is about. And then when you open it, you'll have this, which is the blurb, where it gives you more information on what the book is about. Then you have this first page, which is just a title and James Frey autograph. Most books won't have this. This is a limited edition at Barnes & Noble, where he only signed a few of the books, and I was just so lucky to be one of the people that bought the signed book. He also put like this little thing, which I like, and he just wrote this to give you a general. I am so sorry about my nails. I'm so sorry. I feel so embarrassed. But this is just a general little clue to tell you that this book has clues, and he wants you to learn the clues, and he also wants you to play along, which I love that both the authors are inviting you in with the book. So they'll put in clues and they won't give you the answers, and they want you to play along, basically. They want you to be one of the characters while you're reading, because it's, it's intriguing to give you clues and be like, what does this mean? And you're just like, oh my God, what does that mean? And you never know until you read on, and then you're just a part of it, and it's beautiful. And then they have obviously the title again with both the authors this time, which is James Frey and Nials Johnson-Shelton. And then it's not really an acknowledgement, it's not really a dedication, it's just 2 sentences that just say much of this book is fiction, but much of the information in it is not. Endgame is real, and Endgame is coming. And then, again, he has something that's similar to the other ones, which is also, I think it's like a quote, but then don't think it's a quote. So I think this is a clue, and yes. And then it just goes straight into the book. And this is just basically, this first page is basically telling you about the book. It talks about Endgame and who are the like how many contestants are in there, or why Endgame was created, and it does all of that. And then boom, you start with the first character, and the first character name is Marcus Loisius Megalos, and he's from Istanbul, Turkey. And it goes straight into the characters. It starts describing the characters, starts describing everything. It's actually a series, so this is actually book 1. I haven't had the opportunity to read book 2 and book 3 yet, which I bought. And I'm waiting on it, so the moment I start reading, I most definitely will give you a review. Hopefully it's good. Most series, after they hit past book 3, they start getting really, really redundant. They start just over-exaggerating stories. Stories don't really make sense anymore, because it's just like you're prolonging something that doesn't need to be prolonged. So the first book is called Endgame: The Calling. The second book is called Sky Key. And then the third book is called Rules of the Game. Out of 1 to 4 clams, 1 to 5 clams, this is most definitely getting a 5. This is a 5, 5, 5. It hits all my criteria. It's original. It's intriguing. It's interesting. I said original. It's just all around what I look for in a book. When I read books, I just want something that it's not done before, and if it is, I want you to put your own twist on it. it has me guessing, it has me intrigued, it has me not wanting to put the book down, it has me wanting to fight with people because they're telling me they want me to pay attention to them. It's just one of those books where it's just like, you know, you have to be into it. And it's one of those books that you can't just quickly read. You have to be intrigued in it. You have to put your attention on it because it's giving you a lot of facts. Some of it are just made up. Some of it is actually real. You know, it has clues. It has games. It pulls at your heartstrings. You know, you feel bad for people that you shouldn't feel bad, and then you feel bad for people that you should feel bad, and it has you like up in the air. You never know what's gonna happen, so you make your own conclusions on like, oh my God, this is gonna happen. Like, well, that's what I do. Make conclusions like into the future. And like, oh, this person's gonna do this, but this book is one of those like most of the time they're not gonna do what you think they're gonna do. Like James Frey and Neil Johnson-Shelton will steer you into the direction which you think the book is going, and the next thing you know, they're going a completely opposite, which will like put you back and like, oh God, what was that? And it's one of those books, and it's beautiful, and I love it. I think this book is so amazing. I just want the mailman to just knock on my door right now and just be like, I got your book, so I could just start reading it. It's that intriguing, it's that interesting. I find it to be beautiful scientific book. So it was new for me because it's a genre that I'm not really used to. Most of my genres happen to be like fantasy. So I read a lot of like vampires, werewolves, dragons, all of that kind of lore type of books, like fairies and mermaids. So for this was just something out of my comfort zone. It was something that I was kind of iffy about because it wasn't in my normal genre, but I'm so glad that I got out of my comfort zone. I'm so glad that I bought it. At Barnes & Noble's, this was $20. And I normally don't like spending more than like $10 to $15 on a book. Me buying a $20 book and then actually enjoying it to the point where it actually became one of my favorite books is insane. Like, this book happens to be hands down one of my favorites. Obviously, Harry Potter is numero uno. Harry Potter is hands down my favorite book in the whole entire world. Nobody can tell me nothing about that book. If you saw my previous video, you would see how much I love that book, but I will say it again. That book is 5 out of 5. I think I'm going to put it like at 10 clams out of 5 because it's so amazing. I love the story. That story is completely original. Nobody could ever say that she copied them. Nobody could ever say anything. That book came straight from that woman's brain. Also, the movie was beautiful. Again, like I said before, all book to movie adaptations should be exactly like Harry Potter. They should just take Harry Potter and just take this outline. It's like, you know what? This is what we're going to do. You see how beautiful this is? We're going to make it that. So I kind of sort of want this to be a movie, kind of don't. I always say that whenever I read a book. I'm like, oh my God, I wish this was a movie because, you know, it's in my head and I want to see it and, you know, see it out there. But then I always take it back because I'm always like, but they're gonna not do a good thing. Like, I was very disappointed with Vampire Academy. I will write a review about Vampire Academy, the book, and I will also at the end, in the middle of that video, I will also review the movie, which I was very disappointed in. So this is five clams. This is 5 clams straight up. I recommend this book every time I talk to a person who asks me for book recommendations, which actually a lot of my friends ask me for book recommendations because I read so many books. I always tell them this book. This book is beautiful. This book is gorgeous. I think this book is amazing. I just want everybody to read it so I could talk to people about it and they could understand why I love this book so much, and people stop making fun of me as to why I could never put this book down. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous. Original. This is originality to the max. James Frey is a beautiful author. I do recommend every single one of his books. All of his books are beautiful. Please, 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 highly recommended. This is 100%. I'm so happy about this book. I don't understand how people cannot be happy about that book. I am going on vacation soon. Going on vacation for 2 weeks, which means that there might be a Sunday where I won't post a video, but I'm going to try my hardest. I more or less would well, probably, yeah, gonna make a video this week and then post it in the middle of this week to replace the Sunday that's going to be missed. If you're still watching this, thank you so much. Please subscribe, please share, please send it to other people, please show people this video. I just want to share my love for books to as many people as I possibly can. Books are something that are near and dear to me. They're my major right now. My major right now is the English Lit. I want to be a publisher. I want to be an editor. What I'm doing now, reviewing books, is what I want to do in 10 years. I want to be one of those people who reviews on the back of their book because I said it was amazing, and then everybody wants my opinion on books. I love them so much. Soon I will make a Twitter. If you want, I will put my Tumblr down below. I'll put my Tumblr down there so you guys can see it. So you guys can follow me on Tumblr and give me any book recommendations. You can put me in an ask. You can tell me, Cheyenne or Shy, can you please review this book? I almost definitely would do it. I will make a Facebook dedicated to this. I will also might put my Instagram down. Not 100% sure. Very private about my Instagrams. Actually, I'm very private about all my social medias. More or less gonna make an Instagram dedicated to this. I'll make a Facebook dedicated to this. I will make a Twitter dedicated to this. I more or less will make a Tumblr just dedicated to this. This is my life. Please share, please like, I hope. Please comment down below and tell me anything you want me to review. Any book that you read that you loved and you want me to review it so that you can bring the book out there. I'm going to try and continue to put out books that haven't been read. You'll notice that if the book is really popular or the movie already came out for that book, more or less I won't do a review on it because everybody kind of knows about it. I'm one of those girls who really reads indie books and recommends it, so I will put out books that aren't very out there, and I want people to read them because they're so good and they deserve the attention. Please comment. I'm going to keep saying this. Share, comment. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cheyenne, and this is Mermaid Reviews, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!